Okay. All right. You ready?
Gibble.
Hmm?
Say something.
Something.
Oh, wow. Okay, hello. So we are taking our first road trip in Jarvis, our Tesla. Really it's the second one because we're actually on the way back now. We drove to Frisco, Texas last Thursday because we had a wedding. Now it's Tuesday because we just like hung out with friends and family and whatever. So the way down went really well. So now we'll kind of show you the way back and how that goes. We are stopping in Kansas City, which is basically like the halfway mark back to Minneapolis. That's our ending point. So 8 hours today, 8 hours tomorrow. We'll see how it goes, and we'll kind of show you, I guess, how taking a road trip in Tesla works. Okay, so this is what our screen looks like for now. You can see our whole map. Maybe, yep. So on this trip we have 3 charging spots, and then our end point is Kansas City. You can see here Tesla will show you what percentage you will get to the charging destination at, and then how long you'll probably need to charge. Those are all our stops: Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and we're ending in Kansas City. And then it will tell you the times that you're supposed to get to each place. And then when we just put in our end destination, and then Tesla figured this all out for us. And then here you can see this number 8 and like number 7. Those are showing you how many spots are at each charging station at that time. And usually we try to fill up a little bit extra. We like to get to our like next charging spot at like, what would you say? Like 20%, just in the event that we take a wrong turn or something. Or there's like road construction, a detour, any like unforeseen activities, I guess, on the trip. But yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. And then we see here is our percent that we're at. We're at 52%. What am I hitting? And it'll also show you the mileage. Tesla just got a new update that will account for headwinds too, so that's kind of nice. It's just been a little bit more accurate. And then this all depends on if you are actually going the speed limit. If you go a lot faster, your battery will run out faster too. So we're being good drivers. Okay, so this is our first stop in Denison, Texas. Here you can see up here the time remaining to continue trip to charge. I think it's not focused. And then here we have our charge limit set. And then up here you can kind of see like how quick it's charging. This is a Tesla supercharger, so it does charge faster, usually within like 20 to 30 minutes. Depending on how many people are at the charging station. Right now we're the only one, so it should be fine. Here you can set your charging limit. Maybe, yeah, like there. Now I set it to 73. But I'm gonna put it back up higher because we want to get there at a little bit more. They say not to charge it to 100. Gabriel, why is that?
They say don't charge it to 100% except you're going on long trips, except for regular driving just 85 or something, 80%.
Yeah, we're doing it a little bit more. And then here it's telling you how much it costs. Our credit card is just hooked up to the car, so it just charges our credit card for us. Usually charging stations, they need to be at a well-lit area. Usually right off a highway, and then with access to like some type of service. A lot of times they're at gas stations or grocery stores, or sometimes we see them at Targets. This gas station is not yet working, so no bathroom, I guess, until next stop. Yeah, that's kind of what we got for this stop. Okay, this is our second charging stop in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We're at the Hard Rock Cafe casino, I think. That's what it looks like. This one's set up a little bit different, so you just drive in and then charge there. Yeah. Guys, we got boxed in by Teslas at the charging station. Usually it's fine. Usually the charging will go a little bit slower if there's people close from you, because you're all drawing from the same like electricity source. So you're supposed to space out at the charging station, but now it's just kind of full, so we're all kind of packed together. This spot now. This is what it cost us to charge here, but we were charging basically from empty to full. And there's a charging spot. It ended up getting completely full, and there was somebody waiting, so we're over here now, but we're on our way. Okay, good morning this morning. It is day 2 of our road trip back from Frisco to Minneapolis. We stayed the night in Kansas City, Missouri, which I always find very confusing because it's not Kansas. But we were at 44% once we got to the hotel last night, and now we just drove like 20 minutes to Liberty, Missouri, and we're gonna charge up before we head on, and then we just have 2 more charging stops until we get to Minneapolis. I think it's a total of like 8 hours.
It says we'll get there at 3:38 p.m. and currently it's 8 p.m. So
what's that?
7 hours, if I'm not right. Yeah,
but that's including charging. So when Tesla figures it out, it figures out your charging. Usually it takes us a little bit longer because we like to charge a little bit more. They kind of offer you like the least amount of charge you need to get there. But we usually like to get to our end destination not at like 10%, because there's not always charging at the hotels. Last night there was no charging at the hotel. So we didn't get to charge overnight or anything. But I think we're ready to go. We got our coffees from the hotel. Got a honey lavender oat milk latte, inspiration of my sister. And Gibbo got a hot chocolate. And this charging station's at a high V. A lot of them kind of seem to be at a high V. It's kind of like a, what'd you call it? It's like a grocery store, like a
Whole Foods, maybe.
No, Whole Foods. It's more like the regular deal, like
Kroger, I guess.
Coborn's.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll probably go in, maybe grab some snacks. Maybe not. No, we'll see. I can show you what I like to do while the car is charging. You can just watch some Netflix. And now it's gonna load. Okay. Let's see, what was I watching? That. Yep. And then you can just watch TV on your little screen while you charge. Can we get snacks?
No.
This time we're at our last charging stop before getting to Minneapolis. We just crossed the border into Minnesota. I think we're in Albert Lee, Minnesota. We're at like a travel plaza type place. And it says we just have 20 minutes to charge total, and then we drive another hour and a half to Minneapolis. Overall, the trip hasn't been bad. We kind of thought that it would seem like it took a long time just from having to stop every like 2.5 hours. The total trip was like 16 hours. One way, and we stopped every like 2.5. Actually, it's been kind of nice.
Yeah, the breaks have made the trips more, I feel like, enjoyable. Because you know that there is a break coming up and you have to take the break. In the past, we would just drive 16 hours straight and stop for gas. And
like 8 hours straight.
Right, you would just go the whole day, and there was no stop except you needed gas, and it was more like just like driving to the destination. Now you know there are stops, so it just makes it, well, I'm just going to get to this next place, and then I'm going to get to the next place. So it just makes it a little bit easier. And then the breaks are longer too, so you can stretch your legs, walk around.
Yeah, you're forced to like take a 20-minute break compared to like just 2-3 minutes. Like every time we've gotten out and at least like walked around, except for the really sketchy small towns. I mean, we get out of the car still, but yeah, it's actually been quite enjoyable. And you know that you can only drive for like 2.5 hours, so it doesn't seem very daunting. But overall, it's been a good experience.
Thank you, Secretary Jarvis.
So we are on our very, very last leg of our first true road trip in our Model Y. Overall, really good experience. I would say even better experience than I thought. I thought it was just going to add hours and hours of like detours and charging to the trip. It added some time, but the time was like actually really well worth it. It was like time well spent actually. And I didn't really feel the detours too terribly. I don't even know how much of a detour we actually had to take. We haven't really looked into that. Overall, probably over 2,000 miles on the car, but really no wear and tear. Everything's still doing good. You'll notice in some of the videos that there was a crack in our windshield that we had from before, which we were able to get fixed in Minneapolis. At the very end of the road trip, unfortunately, we had to look at the crack the whole time. But yeah, any last?
Hopefully looking forward to possibly taking another road trip, this time out to Connecticut. So this will be significantly longer, out on the East Coast. But we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, pretty easy drive. I don't know.
You just put it into the latest system.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's a less tense drive than a normal drive in a car. A little bit more relaxed, just because the car is doing a little bit more of the work for you.
Well, I guess that's in opposition to our Subaru Outback, I guess. So I don't know if you're driving an Escalade or a Lamborghini or BMW, maybe you have a different experience. But yeah.
It's less tense driving than like having to be like here all the time. Granted, we don't have the full self-driving. We're still driving the car, but less thought to put into it. But overall,